What if I told you that there's a country where the crime rate drops due to boxing fights? People speak over 175 languages, and prison inmates perform a collective dance from Michael Jackson's Thriller video as part of their rehabilitation. Don't believe me? Well, it's all true in the Philippines. So stick around till the end of the video because we're going to share all the things that only happen in the Philippines and nowhere else in the world. Let's get started. Number 15. The Philippine Tarsier. Meet the smallest monkey in the world. Or at least that's what people think when they look at this tiny bug-eyed creature. The Philippine Tarsier is the second smallest primate on the planet, and they're only found in the various islands of Southeast Asia, including the Philippines. Tarsiers are also the only entirely carnivorous primates, so these tiny animals with bad ears and freaky eyes are pretty rare. And they're also some of the most peculiar animals, given that they only measure up to 6 inches long, which is about the size of an adult palm. Number 14. Kamagoon Island. The Philippines are undoubtedly one of the most scenic tourist locations. Among all the other islands that are part of it, Kamagoon is the most unique. Known as the island born of fire, it has 7 volcanoes and several volcanic domes scattered throughout. In fact, it has more volcanoes per square mile than any other island on the planet. How crazy is that? The spectacular island is 14 miles long and 8.5 miles wide, and it's marked by natural wonders and historical riches created by volcanic eruptions and land movements. But tourists can safely visit it since volcanoes have been dormant since the 1950s. Number 13. The world's largest pair of shoes. The Philippines are renowned for housing the biggest pair of shoes in the world as certified by the Guinness Book of World Records, and it's held the record since 2002. It was made in Marikina City, which is the capital of shoe production in the Philippines. The giant shoe measures over 17 feet long and 8 feet wide. It's so spacious that it can fit approximately 30 normal feet inside them. The shoe's made of genuine leather, which took 77 days to finish, and the total cost of the shoes was reportedly $2 million. Number 12. Repetitive names. If you know any Filipino, then you must be aware of their tendency to give nicknames that repeat the same syllables. The theory of repetitive names can be traced to linguistics. According to the theory, all languages in the Philippines belong to the Malaya-Polynesian family of languages. This family itself is a member of the Austronesian clan. Due to that, the languages are glutinative, which means that Filipinos love to glue similar words together to form one new word, like bing bing and juju, which actually sound quite fun. Number 11. Frog purrs. The Philippines are probably the only country in the world that thinks frogs are attractive enough to use as purses. Frog purses are the weirdest looking handbags that you'll find in several tourist shops across the Philippines. Many people find them unsettling because these coin purses are made entirely from real tan frogs, so it looks as bizarre as heck. But it's still a popular common souvenir item there. Number 10. The world's largest single banknote. The 100,000 Philippine peso is the world's largest single banknote, almost the size of a sheet of legal paper. The 100,000 pesos note was created by the government of the Philippines in 1998 as a way to celebrate a century of independence from Spanish rule. It's a highly exclusive note that was only offered to rich collectors who could purchase one of the limited edition notes for 180,000 pesos, or about $3,700. Number 9. Sonorapan. The Sonorapan is considered the smallest commercial food fish in the world, with an average length of 12 millimeters and can be widely found in the Philippines. Locally, it's called Pandaka pygmaea, and the Filipinos harvest it with nets and palm leaves. However, it had become clear by the 1990s that the Sonorapan had become overfished and was nearing extinction. Number 8. Waterfalls Restaurant. Waterfalls are one of the most beautiful and mysterious landmarks, but it's also pretty dangerous and difficult to get up close to one. But the Villa Escudero Resort of San Pablo City in the Philippines allows people to get close and personal with a roaring waterfall. It's truly a one-of-a-kind experience for tourists who get to sit at the foot of the waterfall while they enjoy local cuisine at handmade bamboo tables. So make sure you don't miss this place if you ever get the pleasure of visiting the Philippines. Number 7. 175 languages. The Philippines are number 5 on the list of the world's top English-speaking populations after the US, India, Pakistan, and the UK. But that doesn't mean that they don't speak their own language. In fact, Filipinos take it to the next level by speaking over 175 languages for their internal communication. Although Filipino is the most commonly spoken there, diverse linguistic groups living in the country prefer to do their own thing. Many of these obscure languages exist only in spoken form, so it's hard to pinpoint the exact number of them. But 175 is the ballpark figure. Number 6. Number 1 texting country. Filipinos love to interact with others and hang out with their friends. In fact, they love to stay connected so much that they text incessantly. And you better believe that there's no limit to how many texts they'll send in a day. But a rough estimate shows that they send about 400 million texts every single day. And to really put that into perspective, that makes roughly 142 billion texts a year, which is more than the US and Europe put together. Number 5. Jeepney. In Manila, the roads are filled with some very unique-looking vehicles, known as jeepneys. These jeepneys were made from U.S. Army Jeeps that stayed in the country after World War II. However, this mode of transportation is dying out quickly, and there are only about 50,000 jeepneys left in Manila. So if you're curious about riding in one, make sure to do it before they're replaced. Number 4. Crime rate drops due to boxing. Ever heard of Manny Pacquiao? He's a Filipino professional boxer, and the nation loves to watch him when he's dominating in the ring. Whenever Manny's fight comes up, the Filipinos attach themselves to the TV and don't budge for hours. It sounds unbelievable, but here's the proof. According to the Philippine National Police, crime rates in the country dropped dramatically because people are busy watching the match. Number 3. Cebu dancing inmates. It's unheard of for prison inmates to perform the thriller dance as a daily exercise, but this is the Philippines we're talking about, so anything's possible. In the Cebu Provincial Detention and Rehabilitation Center, the prisoners of CPD carry out their rendition of Michael Jackson's Thriller video every day. The dance routines are as much a part of their daily routine as eating and resting, so these world-renowned dancing inmates have certainly garnered a lot of attention over the years. Number 2. The Habal or Skylab. The Habal, aka the Skylab, is a peculiar motorcycle in the Philippines that was improvised to travel through rough terrain and congested roads. The capacity of the ride is up to 10 passengers, including their baggage, so it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's commonly seen in remote villages where farmers have to take their goods to the local market. Due to the wooden planks attached to the sides of the motorcycle, the bike's also called Skylab. Number 1. The Hobbit House. The last item on today's list is the Hobbit House. This is one of the oddest themed restaurants in the world. Founded in 1973 by a former college professor and Peace Corps volunteer Jim Turner, the Hobbit House is distinct for being the only restaurant in the world that hires a staff comprised of little people only. The restaurant was also recognized by iExplore and Lonely Planet for having the smallest waiters in the entire world. Alright folks, that's all for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon with another video. Until then, take care.